So did you guys have a good summer? Yes. Did you go on vacation? Did anyone drive? With small children? In the back seat? From the ocean to Chicago? So my husband and I have done this several times, and we're a little bit of a glutton for punishment because we like to do things like drive back from North Carolina to Chicago while Mom has the shingles. And yes, it's true. I actually got the shingles in Charleston on vacation. Like, she's like, well, usually shingles means you're really stressed out about something, darling. Y'all, up there. And I was like, what? The shingles? I'm not stressed. I'm on vacation. I'm having fun, damn it. So, but that wasn't even the time I want to tell you about because that really kind of pales in comparison. My husband and I have 3 daughters. Those of you who've seen them. They started out much smaller. And we had a Honda Civic that we bought in 2003. We actually weren't engaged. It really upset my father because, I bought a car with a man I was only sleeping with. So we bought this car, and we could do one of those cute commercials if I took all the pictures of like us growing up and this and that, and not driving the car for the 4 years we lived in New York City, but we kept it. So then when we had the kids, we just kept putting them in the back seat. And you can put 3 kids in the back seat of a Honda Civic. There are websites devoted to this, and it tells you which 3 car seats you can buy, which includes an inflatable booster seat that you put in the middle. You blow it up and squeeze it in there. And your mother will be like, I'm not really sure that's the safest thing. And you'll be like, I'm not buying a new car. I have 3, it's okay. So we put them all in the back of a Honda Civic to drive back from the beach. As you guys said, you did this, right? So I didn't have the shingles, so that was good. And we're driving, it's very far, you're going through lots of states. And it was a Sunday, because you leave the beach on Sunday, and we get to Kentucky in my Honda Civic, and a bunch of random lights go on in the car, like lights that I'm sure I haven't seen, even though I've had the car for a long time. So I kind of panicking. My husband's not panicking, which is very common for the 2 of us, those of you who know us. And I look in the little book because I don't even know if the Honda Civic 2003 manual is on your phone, but I have the paper book. So I look it up, and it says, and I'm not even kidding you, it says, do not stop the car if these 3 lights are on, because you will not be able to start it again. And I'm in Kentucky, and my husband, who doesn't panic, is like, I'm sure you read that wrong. You can look at a different page. I was like, no, those are the symbols, the little crazy 8 sideways, and this, it says don't stop. Ah. So we stop, and we pull over, and we drive up to a gas station, and I'm like, okay, someone here will know something. And you could pump gas, but there was no one there. And then we remember, this is odd, right? We think this is odd, and we remember suddenly that it's Sunday morning in Kentucky. You don't pump gas Sunday morning in Kentucky. If you do, you're gonna do it by yourself and no one's there to help you. So then we don't stop, we drive to the next interstate. Now I'm panicking, we're gonna lose gas and the car can't stop, and we pull up somewhere else. And at this one, there was some heathen who was working. And I said, hi, I think I need a mechanic. I can't turn off my car because da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, what? And so I try to say it slower, but it's hard for me. And I tell her that the car I can't turn it off, and I need a mechanic, and I know that it's Sunday morning, and I know I'm in Kentucky. And she thinks for a while, and she talks to the other guy in the back of the store, and another guy walks in, and they all think, and finally amongst the 3 of them, they decide that I can go to Walmart. And they're open on Sundays. So I'm very excited about this, because my husband has now been driving around in circles in the parking lot. I get in the car, and we drive to the Walmart, pull up to the Walmart, and a very nice gentleman comes out, and we tell him we can't turn off the car because the 3 lights are on, and he says, I can't look at your car if you don't turn off the car. So we turn off the car. Turn off the car, I take the 3 kids into Walmart, and we look at the toys, and we do this, and we do that, and I don't really know what we're doing. It's a very big Walmart, and my husband's back, and then my phone rings, it's my husband. We find each other, and he says, well, the good news is they know what the problem is. The bad news is they can't fix it. So now I'm starting to, what do you mean Walmart can't fix it? They literally sell everything. They don't sell alternators, nor does the guy who does alternators work on Sundays. Only the guy who does batteries and tires feels comfortable working on Sundays in Kentucky at the Walmart. So at this point, they tell him to go to the AutoZone. He leaves me at the Walmart. He goes to the AutoZone. The AutoZone not only has the alternator, but they have the number of a guy who will put it in our car. So they call the guy. I'm still at Walmart. So just don't lose track of that part of the story while we talk about what my husband's doing, because I'm at Walmart with 3 kids. And if I wasn't clear like how far back ago in my life this was, they were not even 1, not even 5, and just turned 3. So just to, I just want to reiterate that part. Like, this is me at Walmart, and this is Matt at the AutoZone. And when Matt tells the story, he's like, oh, I knew it was a mechanic when his car pulled up. It didn't even make a sound. It purred. It was some, I don't even know, 67 Corvette, when he tells the story. The guy picks him up, takes him to his house. His, cute 20-year younger girlfriend offers Matt a beer, and he's watching The Matrix in the guy's recliner in the house in the middle of Kentucky. And have you forgotten where I am? Okay, I just want to reiterate that part of the story. Beer, Matrix, cute girlfriend, nice mechanic. Walmart. 3 kids, going on 3 hours. We have bought a new DVD player, we have bought all new toys, we bought stuff I didn't even know if it was gonna fit, because did you think about the fact that I took 3 kids to the beach in a Honda Civic? Did you think about the luggage? Because if you did, you'd be like, oh, I bet her mom had to carry her dirty clothes home, and that would also be true. So, the car is very, very full. So, at this point, my kids are getting really hungry, and I've now realized that just in the very front, the back is where the auto mechanic is in the Walmart, and we've now made it through the entire store to the very, very front corner where there is a McDonald's. And I think, yep, it's about time we need to eat at McDonald's. So we eat at McDonald's, and we sat down, and the next thing you know, half of this small town in Kentucky came in to get their coffee after church. And I didn't know it was such a thing to get coffee at McDonald's in a Walmart after church, if you're in Kentucky, but evidently it is. So they're all drinking coffee. Occasional Egg McMuffin, mostly coffee. So we're here eating, everyone else is there. So for those of you paying attention, the baby is 10 months old, which I nursed her, so she's ready at this point. She doesn't really eat chicken nuggets yet, and I wasn't really planning on being in the Walmart for 3.5 hours while my husband was over there watching the Matrix movie, so she's pulling on I thought about wearing the dress tonight. It was a very low cut. I probably wouldn't have worn on a Sunday in Kentucky if I had thought about it. She's pulling on my shirt, and finally I'm just okay, yeah, I'm gonna just feed her over here. So I feed her, and we're eating, and she's nursing, she's happy. The people close to me seem okay. I'm facing the wall, I'm in the corner, it's not a problem. And then there's some very grumpy gentleman, maybe right about here, with it, I don't know who it was, a bunch of women and a grumpy man. Well, we don't really see that around these parts, do you now, Ma? I'm just ignoring it and nursing my children. Why would someone do that right there? You'd think they'd go in the bathroom. And I'm just thinking, I've been in Walmart for 3 hours, and it's really nice to eat McDonald's, and I'm just not gonna pay any attention to that grouchy man. And then all the women start, yeah, I just don't see why you do that. They're all saying this. And then finally over here, we get my 4-year-old saying, Mom, I think those people are talking about us. Oh, that would be rude. We're just gonna feed Mariella, and no, I'm pretty sure they are, Mom. They're all looking at you. So at this point, he's really looking at me, and I'm turning red, and I'm I've been to McDonald's, I've been to Walmart, I'm in Kentucky for hours, and luckily for Matt, I didn't know he was watching The Matrix and drinking a beer at this time, because we might not still be married. So then, I just turn to him and say, we're okay over here, thanks. Right, that pretty much sums it up. We're okay, stop talking about me. And then he just keeps talking, and then my children keep talking. So then I finally say a little bit more. I'm it's really okay, we're good. Maybe you could talk about the next part of your day. And he's just well, sorry, he was over here. Well, we just don't do that in these parts. And then I say to him, well, I don't usually come to these parts, but pretty much everyone else I've talked to all day has been nice and kind enough to my family, because I've now been in this Walmart for 3 hours, and I've talked to 22 employees and 17 other mothers and all these other people, plus the people at the gas station, all these other people being nice, right? The mechanic working, all these people being nice, yet this one man's grouchiness and inability to, look the other way while I feed a child is causing all this stress. Not just for me and my family, but the other people in the neighborhood, other kids, or not neighborhood, the community where we're sitting. And he just was so grumpy about the whole thing. So finally, he gets up, they're done with their coffee, and this woman from McDonald's comes over and brings the kids some cookies, and this other woman comes over and, are you guys okay? Is everything okay? And I'm just like, I've just been in this Walmart for 3 hours, and I don't even know if our car works, and we couldn't stop the car, and I don't know where my husband is. And it's gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay. Everyone else is so nice. And it's amazing to me that this happened so long ago, and I can still get so worked up at this one person's grouchiness. Like, it's amazing to me how much time I've actually spent thinking about the fact that you can just be so rude. Like, why? Why? And I've come to this conclusion. It took me a while to get there. And I think so many of us don't know what the hell we're doing. And we're so scared that we're gonna do it all wrong. So one way to fight that back is to just tell everyone else that I'm right and everyone else is wrong. And that's what that man's problem was. He was right. You don't feed children in restaurants, in McDonald's, on Walmarts, on Sundays, in Kentucky, with your boobs. You know? It's not something you do. And the more you think about it, you can eventually think, like, you know what? He didn't mean to judge me. He needs to open his mind. And he needs to just realize, as I think many of us need to often realize, like, we don't know all the answers. And what works for one person doesn't always work for the next person. So I think we all, with so many decisions, just have to let go and be okay with what other people do with their lives. Who they sleep with, where they sleep with, how they spend their money, what they do, if they work, if they don't work, if they have natural childbirth, if they breastfeed, if they don't. It just really doesn't matter. It's not going to change your life. We all should let go. And I was thinking, like, this would be such a nice note to end the story, just right there on the top. But you know, I'm a Scorpio, and I hold a lot of grudges, like you wouldn't believe. And I just have to add, because I don't want, for those of you who don't know me, and oh, she was just so judgmental about the people that are judgmental. Like, she just, you know. So my husband and I went out to dinner. I'm from a very small town, and then, like, the next little town over, Grand Detour, Illinois, home of the John Deere historical site where the man invented the plow. True story. You can go there. They have an art festival in September, and there was a very fancy restaurant in this town, very fancy for this part of this county, this part of Illinois. And my husband and I went there for dinner. My mom had been telling us how nice it was, and you know, I like to eat out in Chicago at like Goosefoot and this and that, so I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't really know about this place in Grand Detour, Illinois, Mom, but I'll go because you're watching the kids. And we go to sit down, and the guy who's seating us just does not seem quite right. And I'm like, yeah, well, and Matt's like, there's something wrong with that man. Like, what is his deal? I think he's like, wait. I'm like, no. In small towns, we take care of everyone. You can be developmentally delayed and still have a job seating people at a nice restaurant. You're all wrong, Matt. You need to be more open-minded about this and that. And literally I'm saying this, and the waitress comes over and she says, I'm so sorry. He's the owner, and he's just such a raging alcoholic. It's just really been pissing us all off. And I thought, wow, coming to work really, really drunk. But who am I to judge?